everyone, it's Taylor here today to show you how I created these fun cards using two different stencils and two different dies. They're really pretty simple and it all starts with the designer masking stencil in the heart shape. These come in two different sizes and they have the etched alignment on them so that you can perfectly center the shape on your card front. I'll also be using the Set the Scene cloud strips. And in order to adhere my stencils, I have pixie spray and purple tape. For the dies, I will be using the Shot Through the Heart for the sentiments on the cards. And those are very intricate dies, so I'll be cutting those out with Stick-It in order to adhere them more easily. I have the Stitched Rectangle Stacklets, which is a really good basic for everybody's collection. And then I'll be doing my blending with lots of different colors of ink. Those will all be linked in the description of the video, and my trusty blender brushes. So let's get started. I have a piece of pre-cut sugar cube cardstock at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to be using the smaller of the two heart stencils. You can see those etched lines that are used for aligning your cardstock, so you can align a card base size or a layered card front size like I have. That is going to allow the shape to be perfectly centered on your card piece. No guessing, no wondering if you have it perfectly centered. So the next step is going to be to start blending. I've decided to do a rainbow blend on this first heart. So I've started with Fruit Punch, then I'm continuing with Pineapple. Where those two colors overlap, it makes a little bit of an orange color. Then I'm going in with a little bit of green. I will continue with the blue and the purple, as you can see here. But one thing I wanted to say is, even though this is a small space, I was able to blend 5 different colors with these blender brushes. I think the size of the bristles is just perfect for lots of different spaces. Now I'm taking the negative of that stencil. I've sprayed it with pixie spray, and it takes about 30 seconds for it to get tacky enough to stick to your paper. So then I've placed that down over my blended heart in order to mask it while I do these clouds. I'm using the Set the Scene cloud stencil strips to blend the cloudy scene, just moving the strip down slightly each time and shifting it left to right to vary the clouds and make them look a little bit more realistic. I'm using Sprinkles ink and just continuing all the way to the bottom until the cloudy portion is finished. So when I remove that mask, you can see the beautiful rainbow heart with the clouds around it. For the next one, I will be using a little bit different ink combination, again centering my stencil within those etched lines, and I'll be doing an ombre blend here. So I'm starting with Strawberry Milkshake, continuing with Lollipop, and ending with Cherry Pop. And if you are unsure where to start with a blending combo, I would encourage you to just try something ombre. It's really easy. We have a light to dark blend in just about every color of the rainbow. Again, I have used that mask to cover that blended heart while I do the stencil strip here. There are 3 different styles of the cloud stencil strip in the one set, so you could use a different one or you could use the same one as I'm doing on this project. This is the most detailed of the 3 cloud stencils. Before I move on to the last blending combo, I need to wash my stencil, so I'm going to show you how I do that with the Stampers Spritz and our cleaning cloth. Just spritzing a little bit of that cleaning solution onto the cloth and wiping my stencil. You might want to also wipe your stencil with a baby wipe just to get any of the oily residue off of the stencil from the cleaner. That's what I did off screen that I didn't show. So here for the last blending combo, I have Candy Corn at the top, continuing with Guava, and then ending with Plum Punch. Another one of my favorite blending combos is these 3 colors together. You can see what a pretty heart that turned out to be. Again, with the pixie spray heart over the top. I did not respray my heart with pixie spray. It lasts for a while. I don't tend to wash off the pixie spray. I use it until it's not tacky anymore, and then I use more pixie spray on it. If you have not tried that, it is a definite must for anyone who loves to use stencils. So you can see how that last one turned out with the clouds and the 3 different options that I've shown you here. I'm going to be using now the Stitched Rectangle Stacklets to cut those out. I just wanted a little bit less of the clouds on my project, and I had an idea to go ahead and mount these on different colored card bases, so I thought cutting them down just a little bit would be nice. So after finishing that step, it's time to do the sentiments. I'll be using these very intricate arrow dies. They are called Shot Through the Heart, and I'm going to be using Stick-It because it's going to make it a lot easier to adhere these layers together. I'm peeling back the release paper on the Stick-It and placing my cardstock down. I have 3 different sheets because I want to cut these sentiments several times, so I'm just going to do several sheets at one time to make it easy for me to do the mass production. So then I'm peeling the other piece of release paper and placing that down, burnishing it with my hand to make sure it's nicely tacked down to the Stick-It. So after trimming that out and trimming those pieces apart so they fit easier through my die cut machine, I can start the die cutting process. I want to use my metal shim for these because they are an intricate die. It just makes them pop out of the die a little bit easier. I'm going to cut those out enough times so that I have 3 of each sentiment that I'll be using on these cards. A lot of times with intricate dies, I like to stack them together to give them a little bit more dimension on my project. Now I'll be using my die pick to poke out the sentiments from the cardstock. I've chosen to use 3 of the 4 sentiments in the set. There's Hello, Be Mine, and Love. The one that I did not use says Valentine. So I'm taking those 3 layers and just adhering them together. It has the Stick-It on the back of them, so all I need to do is remove that release paper and then stick it to the layer before it. So then I have the Hello finished. I've put that on the rainbow heart, and next will be the Be Mine. And I decided on the Be Mine, it has that little piece that pokes out with the eye. I did not stack that up 3 times. Saving that little dot on the eye was just a little too much for me. So I found one little dot and added that over the top of the eye instead of stacking it 3 times. So last I have the Love, and you want to make sure that you poke out those inner pieces from the O and the E, which I did all at the end. I just adhered them together first and then poked out those excess pieces. So I'll be putting that over the ombre pink to red heart. Now that that step is finished, all I need to do is adhere those to my cards. I've chosen 3 different card-based colors based on the colors I used for the blended hearts. I have here Lollipop, which will go behind the Love. Then I have Plum Punch that will go with Be Mine, and I have Cookie Monster for the Hello. I'll be popping up those stitched rectangle pieces with foam tape over a sugar cube piece that I've cut. So the sugar cube piece measures 4 by 5 1/4. And then the die cut piece will be centered over that, and then that will go on a regular 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. And when it's all said and done, I will have 3 pretty Valentine cards or just a regular old Hello card to send to friends. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you learned something new today with these projects, and you'll give our designer masking stencils a try. They really are so easy to use, and you can do so many fun layering techniques with them. You can find all of these products at the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com.